resources are materials that are needed for day-to-day life within the world. They supply things from our energy, cars, and for the production of the goods we consume every day. The main natural resources we use are non-renewable resources, which means once they've been completely depleted, we will no longer have access to them. Without natural resources, the way we will do things in today's world will have to completely change. The world's population has an overconsumption problem when it comes to these resources. We are consuming more than what we need, and it puts too much of a demand that the planet can handle. The planet is also struggling with the extra waste and emissions due to our overconsumption. We are actively taking too many resources from our Earth in order to make things we use in our day-to-day lives. And when humans are done with them, we dispose of them carelessly in our oceans, atmosphere, and land. When overconsumption happens, we are increasingly worsening climate change and air pollution as well. It also exhausts the Earth's life systems, which include our freshwater systems, that will eventually lead to people to be without the materials that are critical to basic qualities of life and health. An educated woman who works for the International Resource Panel had spoken on the issue of overconsumption on natural resources. She stated, "We urgently need to address this problem before we have irreversibly depleted resources that power our economies and lift our people out of poverty. If we are not proactively trying to solve this issue, then we will have to endure a large shift in the way we live life." There are plenty of simple solutions to the population's overconsumption issue. If everyone were to take part in these simple solutions, the amount of non-renewable natural resources being used would be lowered, resulting in a healthier planet and lifestyle. One of the most simple ways to reduce overconsumption is on a personal level. Since a large amount of natural resources are used to produce the products that we use day to day, consuming only what one needs will help make a difference. If everyone were to consume a fair share of materials and energy, then globally, the amount of natural resources being used will be lowered tremendously. Although this solution is super simple and totally manageable for everyone to do, there will always be people who continue to overconsume. Another extremely simple way to lower the consumption of natural resources is to switch over to a renewable source. Renewable sources are ways to provide energy with no harm to the environment. If more business and homeowners invested in some sort of renewable resource, such as solar panels, then the consumption of non-renewable natural resources will be lowered tremendously without being wasteful as well. Renewable resources can be expensive in the beginning, but the payoff in the end is worth the investment. They not only result in a much safer, healthier, and more efficient source of power, but they begin to lower the cost of bills in the long run. Some renewable sources even create so much energy that energy companies begin to buy back the energy that has been created. There are also simple things that people can do on their own to reduce consumption. People can recycle, buy products from environmentally friendly companies, and donate old things to get reused. The most effective way to lower the consumption of these resources can be done through marketing. Marketing is an extremely influential factor when it comes to this topic. If marketing is done strategically, then people's behaviors will begin to change. We need to begin showing how bad our overconsumption issue actually is and show what can become of our lives if we do not change. Once we begin to actively advertise for this issue, it will really push people to practice better habits. Another more complicated but effective way to reduce consumption is for the government to create laws prohibiting the amount we consume. A writer who writes for Friends of the Earth stated there needs to be more laws regulating businesses. Companies should be made to report on every aspect of their supply chains, including water, land use, and climate-changing emissions. This will help lower and regulate the amount of natural resources being used and wasted. If we do not act on our consumption issue, our planet will begin to show the horrible negative effects of overconsumption. We need to market in efficient ways. We need to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Laws need to be made as well as we need to consume less as a whole. If there are not changes made, then we will be forced to change how things are. The world is dying, and if we don't act upon our overconsumption issue, things will just keep getting worse. Each solution is easy to act upon, and once they are, things will begin to change for the better. We will no longer be consuming more than what we need, which will lead to a happier lifestyle. It will also make the planet less waste-filled. The Earth is our home, and overconsumption is ruining it. Everyone needs to take their part in solving the issue, and they need to do their part now.